sure that anyone else here tonight who has been the one that has been left, you don't think you're ever going to be in love again. You don't know what's wrong with you. You don't know why they don't want to be with you, because most of the time, the person that is leaving isn't man enough or woman enough to tell you exactly why. So there's a lot of soul searching that goes on for a very long time when you pick yourself apart, which at times can be very dangerous. And that was what was going on with me. And then this one day, the day I wrote this song, I'd had enough of being painfully lonely. I was lonely to the point where it hurt. That, you know, I was in pain. That's how lonely I felt. And the fear of being on my own. It's always been my biggest fear. My whole life is to be on my own. And I don't know where that sort of generates from. And it's still a fear of mine, even though I'm not on my own at the moment. Hopefully I won't be on my own. Oh my God, I'm having another 21 of months. But I'd had enough. This one day I was like, I actually can't go on feeling like this. And everything that I was and that I wanted to be and that I had been, he took with him when he left me. And the one thing he couldn't take from me, and that he was completely incapable of doing, was writing a song. So this one day I was like, I'm going to write a song because he can't. And I wanted to write a song that made me feel better and that set me free, and it was going to change the situation that I was in. And within a couple of hours, I had the first verse and the first chorus, which was mad, because any time I'd ever tried to specifically be like, I'm going to write a song today, it never happened. And any time since, it still hasn't happened. But this one day, the stars, they just aligned for me. And immediately I felt this lift, and I felt like I knew what I wanted from the rest of my life. And I did tell you I was a drama queen, so I know it sounds very dramatic. But that was how I felt, and I remember playing it to, you know, the people I told you about earlier that I let hear my music before you, and they all reacted very, very differently to this song than how they had to any of my others. They mainly just cried a lot harder, but I could tell in their eyes that it was reminding them of something that haunted them a bit, and that's how I felt about this song. And this song is a heartbreak song, and it is an incredibly sad song. And I wrote this song on guitar, but it wasn't quite sad enough, so I put it onto piano just to make it a bit more unbearable. But it's also a song about grace and being an adult, and it's a song about being grateful for having the opportunity to have a relationship like that changed my whole life. And in that relationship, and in the falling out of that relationship, I learned who I was, and I don't think I would be as emotionally available to myself or my new boyfriend had that relationship not failed that epically. And my man now is so much better than the one that I was with. But going back to what I said, I believe in fate and everything happened for a reason. I just wanted you to know before I bow out of Austin that I was incredibly happy in that relationship, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Obviously, I'm a bit biased because I got the album out of it. But from the bottom of my heart, that is the truth, and I know I'm bitchy and witchy about it all the time. But I have learned to have some grace also, behind closed doors mainly, about the whole situation. And this song, I sang it on a stage very, very similar to this about 5 years ago. And it was in England, and it was our version of the Grammys at the Brit Awards. And I performed it, and then I flew to New York. And when I landed in New York, since then my life has never ever been the same since I was standing on that stage. And my life has changed in phenomenal ways, and in incredible and mad ways, and ways in which I will never be able to adjust to or get my head around. And I know that at times it seems like I don't like what comes with what I do, and I'll be really honest with you, I don't most of the time. I want to try and live a real life for you, away from the public eye, so that I can write a real record, because I want to appeal to real people. I don't want you to think that I'm this baller or anything like that, because that's not what I am. And I cringe in front of cameras, and that's why I can't live out a normal life like that. But I've always wanted to be a singer, and I couldn't possibly appreciate the opportunities that I'm given all the time. That sounds a bit preachy, but I just want you to know that it blows my mind every single day that this is my job. It really, really does blow my mind. And I never, ever have been grateful for it or taken it for granted. And I will disappear again, I will promise you that, but I promise that I will come back again, and I hope that you can be as welcoming to me as you were this time. Thank you for coming to my show. I've had a great time. Your city is fucking awesome. I love you so much. I'll definitely be back on holiday before you see me go out again. You've been amazing. Thank you. This is someone like you for you. Thank you.